In the year 1990X, the world was engulfed in nuclear fire. It seemed all life had perished. The seas dried up, the earth split. However, humanity survived. In an uncivilized world without law or order, violence ruled the land once again. The world became a place where only the strongest could survive. Thus, the weak preyed upon the strong. Those that were aware of their weakness seeked strength and achieved it by joining together. One of these groups came in the form of a biker gang known as Zeed. Despite the Zeed gang merely being a bunch of ruthless bandits, they serve a purpose to the story that is Hokuto no Ken. They not only serve as the first antagonist of the entire series, but they exist as a symbol to the reader/viewer of the story. The Zeed gang pretty much symbolizes the loss of civilization through their evil and barbaric action against innocent people that are simply trying to survive. At the end of the day, these actions go unpunished because there is no law to oppose them. The narrator pretty much already explains the kind of world this is, but the Zeed gang visually show you just how terrible this truly is. The Zeed gang are a group of biker thugs, each having their hair styled in the form of mohawks, their eyebrows shaved. Each member has the letter Z tattooed on the left side of their foreheads, while the leader and namesake of the gang, Zeed, has his head branded with Z666. Now these guys aren't just a band of edgelords, they mean business. They're wielding axes, spiked clubs, ready to commit acts of evil. I can't really respect them, like they're fucking ugly. Look at them like, Zeed, in the anime this dude looks crusty, he got gray ass skin, no lotion having ass, eyebrow shaving ass, like what the fuck is this? I know they're trying to do the punk aesthetic, but why do you look like that? So anyway, from the top of the cliff, the gang awaits a passing vehicle. An unfortunate dune buggy passes by. Inside are 3 men, one being the driver, and a woman. The Zeed gang kill 2 of the men, throwing a spear through one of them while another plunges into the shoulder of the driver, causing him to lose control of the car. Looking at the wreckage, we can see that the woman is lying dead on the ground with an arrow sticking out of her back. Just by looking at this, we can conclude that she was shot in the back as she was trying to escape. The anime version of this scene plays out differently, but pretty much confirms this. In the anime version, 2 of the men in the car are armed with weapons. This time, they're ready for smoke. The driver is killed by an arrow fired out from a bowgun, which forces the woman to take the wheel herself. Zeed himself tosses an axe at the hood of the car, causing the woman to lose control and crash it. She survives and attempts to escape with a canteen of water, which is extremely difficult to come across. She is shot in the back and killed. The Zeed gang are now free to steal all of their resources. They find a suitcase full of money and toss it all away, allowing it to blow into the wind. Money is useless. There's no point in paying for things when you could just simply steal it from others. They wouldn't even use it to wipe their ass. Their words, not mine. While the Zeed gang enjoy the spoils of the deceased, an ally arrives, informing Zeed that his scouts have been killed. That is when they discover their bodies. Taking a look at the corpses, we can see that each of them have exit wounds but no entry wounds. What led to this massacre is shown in the anime. Kenshiro, the main protagonist of the series, has just entered a village after an exhausting walk through a hot desert. So Zeed's men thought it would be funny to toss a lasso at his ankles and drag him behind their speeding car. This pisses Ken off, thus resulting in the dead bodies. They discover a survivor who attempts to inform them of the assailant. He manages to say one word: Hokuto. After that, the back of his head expands until his brains blast out. At this point, they're thinking that this is some sort of Suicide Squad bullshit, that someone had put a time bomb in the back of his head. Zeed debunks this theory simply because advanced weapons and technology simply doesn't exist anymore. Now he wants to know exactly what Hokuto is. So the Zeed gang continue with their normal activity. They find a village to attack, kill all who resist them. Zeed himself holds a little girl in one hand, lifting her up like a fucking dumbbell. This man is an absolute unit. So Zeed tells the villagers to bring him all their food. He wants their refrigerators. They probably don't exist anymore, so good luck with that. But if they don't bring him their food, he's gonna rip off the girl's head. That's until she calls for Kenshiro. 3 of Zeed's men attempt to stop Ken, only to have their faces struck with a crescent kick. For some reason, getting kicked in the face didn't seem to hurt them. They were ready for more smoke, but their heads exploded a moment later. So they're dead. Zeed realizes that Kenshiro was the one to kill his men. Unfortunately for Zeed, he doesn't let the child go after Kenshiro asked him to, resulting in him getting his ass beat to the ground. Although Zeed was knocked onto his ass, he states that Kenshiro's blows didn't hurt at all. That's until his head is suddenly blown apart, his insides blasting out from his body. Terrible death. While this would mark the end of Zeed in the main continuity, this isn't the last time we'd get to see their degeneracy. In the Fist of the North Star movie, the Zeed gang makes their theatrical debut in the form of a jump scare. We have a group of travelers walking through the desert, mothers carrying their babies. Zeed pop out from the ground as if they were playing the game of whack-a-mole, but the moles are the one doing the whacking, and the chopping, and the stabbing. Now I want you to really think about what these did. They went out of their way to dig themselves underground, just to pop up and body the first human being they see. Diabolical. They chopped that dude's skull so bad, his eyes popped out of his fucking head. We don't see them body the baby, but what the fuck is a baby gonna do all alone in a desert? Cook. Also, the Zeed gang could perform one of the most creative devious licks I've ever seen. I mean, they do the most. They chug their water, steal their kicks, bite their jerky. They don't even give a fuck about the jewelry or money, since money has lost all value. Black Air Force activity at its finest. The Zeed gang consists of a lot of people, yet we only see 3 of them here. Well, they must have split up into different groups, because we got 4 of them chasing children over here. I know see a kid actively participate in a high-speed car chase sounds crazy, but these grown-ass men are literally going out of their way to catch kids. One of these goons pull up, swing a sword at the hood of the car. They don't even care who they smoke. It doesn't matter if they're old or young. They're out for blood. Follow them through a goddamn Mario Kart ramp, crashing through the window of a mall. This shit is crazy. One of them pulls up, kicks the car, only for the car to crash through a wall and fall out the building. Once they crash, the gang gets to looting. One of them finds a bag of seeds, tosses them out like trash, only to get his head bonked with a stick. So this dude's about to stomp this little girl with his mega foot. I mean, it's crushing her against the ground. This dude doesn't skip leg day. Now I'm going to explain to you just how fucking stupid Zeed truly is. A building starts falling down. Multiple buildings around them just start collapsing. They don't know what's happening. They just see some dusty ass dude punching buildings and knocking them down. Man's had the building fall on top of him and just kept walking as if it wasn't even there. At this point, they're scared. They're pissing, they shitting, yeah, it's a natural reaction. So the dust falls off of the mysterious man, and he just ends up looking even more mysterious. Some bearded dude wearing a cloak with glowing eyes? Obviously we know who the fuck this is. They don't. Now instead of retreating from a man who literally knocked building down with his bare hands, they decide they want smoke. They want smoke for someone who lets buildings fall on his head and takes it like nothing. So one of them shoot the hooded goon, aka Kenshiro, with an arrow. Not very effective. Ken grips this dude's dome so hard, he lifts his ass off the ground and crushes his head to the point that his eyes flies out from his goddamn skull. He's dead. 3 more to go. They just watched their friend's dome get squashed like a goddamn grape. What do they do after witnessing that? They attack. All of them. One-shotted. Dude got elbowed on the nose, had his skull blown out from the back of his goddamn head. Dude got kneed in his stomach so hard that he not only had a dent in his gut, the blow was strong enough to send him flying, crashing into a concrete wall. He was killed instantly on impact. Mans got kicked in the chin so hard, his head snapped backwards. He was laid out on the ground. Then his head exploded to the point that the pressure of the blood blasting from his head forces his body to stand up again. Terrible deaths that could have been avoided had they not been fucking idiots. But it ain't over. We got Zeed's main forces, which includes Zeed himself. These are some nasty homie licking his axe and shit. You a nasty motherfucker. I know he been chopping motherfuckers with that shit. I don't understand why motherfuckers in anime do that. Why the fuck are you licking your weapon, you nasty bitch? I don't understand. Are you supposed to like scare someone? You dirty. You're gonna get some nasty shit. I don't know. You're gonna catch something. Goddamn. Anyway, like the original canon, Zeed makes the unfortunate mistake of attacking the village Ken just happens to be chilling in. So at this point, it plays out pretty similar to the anime and manga, with some minor differences. Kenshiro kicks a cinder block into Zeed's mouth. This dude chews through it like nothing. So Zeed's men pull up. Ken one-shots each and every one of them with casual jabs. All of their brains go boom. Then this one is just fucking crazy. I don't know if I should give the credit to Ken for being so strong, or Zeed for being a hard-built motherfucker. Cause the last dude that gets knocked back, he gets knocked back so hard, he splatters against Zeed's body on impact. And then his head explodes all over him. That's fucking disgusting. From there is history. Ken beats the fuck out of Zeed, saves the girl, and Zeed dies. His death in the movie is very gruesome. You can see Ken's ki traveling through his brain. You can see his lungs expanding and crushing his ribcage. Then his head burst, followed by the top portion of his body. And that's the end of Zeed. These motherfuckers had the chance to survive. Ken showed them feats which should have shook them to their very core, and they still tried to beef with him. They weren't brave. They were stupid. And now, they're all dead.